I call the September meeting of the Fayette County Board of Zoning Appeals to order. If you'd all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh no, it's my fault. I spoke too fast.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Bev, you can do roll call, please.
Okay. Carrie Steele.
Here.
Kenny Burgess.
Here.
Bill Crawford.
Here.
Ed Harrell.
Here.
Jason.
Here.
Bill McDaniel.
Present.
Mr. Judd.
Here.
And myself.
All right, wonderful. Next item on the agenda for tonight is the approval of minutes of our meeting of August 14th, 2017. Do we have a motion or amendment?
I have a question on item number 4 on the roll call vote. Was that a unanimous vote or not?
No, it wasn't. If I remember right.
Yeah, I voted no.
I forgot all about that.
Okay, so is there a motion to amend?
So I move that the minutes be amended to reflect the roll call vote.
I'll second.
Okay. So the motion is to approve with that change.
With the amendment.
That's what you seconded?
Yes.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, minutes approved. Okay, moving on, public hearings. We have one tonight for Reed Health. Property address is 2118 Ohio Avenue, requesting a variance from development standards, specifically the parking lot setback of 5 feet to 0 feet, and the building's side yard setback from 10 to 5 feet. So if you'd please come up and introduce yourself and explain the circumstances of your request.
Okay, if I could make one, you probably noticed that there's 2 sections on here for 2 votes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would make a motion and vote on each of the 2 variances separately.
Okay. That we can do. All right.
Good evening. Gordon Moore with Beals Moore and Associates, 122 South 8th Street, Richmond. We're representing Reed Hospital for the site design. They're proposing to put in a pharmacy and a nurse practitioner in the 2,400 square foot building. We've been working with Bill for some time and went through some revisions on this, but this, I'm sure you're familiar with this site. Sounds like you guys did this some time ago. I was unaware of that. It is a very small tract to try to do what we're proposing, and we ended up with all of our detention underground. So we're going to store the water in the parking lot itself with rather large pipes, 36, 48-inch pipes, and then we will filter that out to the existing storm sewers on the east side, working with NDOT to get all that approval. But on the east side, we're asking for the 0 setbacks to put the parking lot up on the property line. If you're familiar with the site, there's about a 30-foot right-of-way from the back walk over to the right-of-way itself. So there's still going to be substantial green area in the front part of this property. And then on the north line where the building's at, we're asking for a reduction as from 10 to 5, and we are going to set the building at 743 south of the property line. And again, it gets real critical because of the width of the site. When you get down to the drive-through lanes on the south side, we wanted to make sure that we had adequate room for these parking spaces to back in and out. As Bill said, I think we exceed everything as far as the parking, the handicap spaces, and also at Bill's recommendation, we increased the stacking into the drive-through. So if you have questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you.
Anybody have any questions?
The last time that this was presented, we didn't hear anything about nurse practitioners. So
That was what I was told today, that it will be a pharmacy and / nurse practitioner.
Yeah, that isn't uncommon anymore.
Like a minute clinic kind of thing.
I was going to say, I'm aware of a couple other clinics that Reed has that they do the same type of operation.
it's just last time they talked about the amount of traffic, and it was going to be mostly for drive up. And
medical devices.
And what they told me-
It just kind of changes the way that building, what it's going to be used for, not
And
just a pharmacy.
I agree, and today what they told me was still the primary purpose is the pharmacy, but they are going to offer that services as a nurse practitioner on site as well. But they believe that the majority of this building space itself will be the pharmacy.
Yeah.
And
It's one of those sort of things that insurance is driving. Insurance costs.
hours, they told me would be from 9 in the morning till 9 at night, is what they're proposing. Proposed fence around all sides, privacy fence to protect the neighbors. Of course, there is none to the north, but I'm sure there may be sometime. So.
That's another issue real fast, Bill, where the house is
Mhm.
there, that's going to have a privacy fence all the way down it, right?
That's what we're proposing, yes.
Which is fine, but if the house, they wouldn't be allowed to do that, right? Because you can't take it all the way out to the road. So this looks
No,
like it's
well,
gonna go
actually,
all
what it
the way
would
through.
be is the privacy fence would be the, 25-foot setback then on the Ohio Avenue side.
So it won't go all the way to the sidewalk.
Correct.
So it'd be
Correct.
25 foot back off the right of way, is that
Yep.
correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, yeah,
It's no problem.
yep, yeah. No, that would fit for both of them also.
Well, and that's good for being able to see pulling out
Yeah.
and sidewalks.
So that would apply to both the north lines and the south line?
Yeah,
Okay.
the Ohio Avenue side.
Okay.
Yep.
25 foot, very good. We will do that.
Any other questions?
So it won't have a fence around the Park Road side or State Road
No.
side? Okay.
No.
I questioned last time, the one question I had about, or one thing I mentioned about the handicap parking is the access aisle between the two parking spots.
Mhm.
The gentleman that was here said that that was gonna be a ramp.
That's not the way we've got it designed.
Good.
There will be a ramp in the walk itself, but not coming out into the parking lot.
Okay, because that,
It'll just be your standard drop handicap space, like they do at most intersections, for example.
he told me that, or I told him you can't do that, and he said we do it all the time. But you're not allowed to have an incline in that space. It has to be basically FAS, 1 in 48, I think it is. So that takes care of that.
Yeah, we're not proposing, I've never done one that way, to be honest. And
Good.
designed probably 20 sites this year for construction that are underway, but no, I've never ran a ramp out into the
And you
parking lot.
can't, yeah, I've ran into that before, and it's a nightmare.
Well, I'm sure.
Especially people that have the wheelchair lift on the
Oh, yeah,
van.
that would
It's
be
gotta
very
be flat, and
difficult.
if it's not flat, they can't get up and down on it. Or if you're getting out in a wheelchair, your wheelchair rolls away from you, so that's the reason it's flat. Good.
Wonderful. Any other questions on either point of these variances? If there are none, then I'll entertain a motion. And we need two, one for each variance.
Do we need to make a motion to vote one separately, or just do it separately?
We'll just make a motion on each one separately. Say the first the variance of, 5 to 0 feet on that one. And, Gordon, now what did you say the actual final setback's gonna be from the building on that north property line? You said it's what, 7 what?
7.43 feet is where we've got the building designed to
Okay,
sit,
7.43.
south of the north property line,
Okay, great,
okay?
great, thank you.
And that's only required 5, right?
Well, that's what, because initially we talked about 5 feet, but it's gonna be a little far, about another 2.5 feet out further away from the
So
property line.
they're good.
Yep. Mhm. Yeah.
7.43 there, yeah.
All right, well, let's have a motion then for the setback, let's see, the parking lot setback from 5 to 0 feet.
I make a motion, we accept the variance of the parking lot setback from 5 feet to 0 feet.
Do you have a second?
I'll second it.
Bev?
Carrie Steele,
Yes.
Kenny Burgess,
Yes.
Bill Crawford,
Yes.
Ed Harrell,
Yes.
Jason Waterman.
Yes. Very good. Now, the next variance that was requested was for the building side yard setback from 10 to 5 feet. And as Mr. Moore has testified tonight, that is actually proposed actual siding would be a little over 7 feet. But the request was to get that setback to 5, to give them a little extra wiggle room if need be.
Make a motion, we approve the side yard setback from 10 feet to 5 feet.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Thank you. And Bev?
Carrie Steele,
Yes.
Kenny Burgess.
Yes.
Bill Crawford,
Yes.
Ed Harrell,
Yes.
Jason Warnerman.
Yes. All right. Well, congratulations. You jumped
Thank
through
you.
this hoop.
Thank you very much.
Next item for him would be to,
Once they have everything in place and the copy of the permits, the design release, and then whenever they have everything worked out with NDOT there.
okay. All right, very good.
Submitted and done, working with them.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now,
What you can do in the meantime is that if you wish to start the prep, site prep work, we can go ahead and issue them with a partial approval for that, awaiting the actual, the final approval from NDOT.
Great.
Can't really,
Very good. Thanks again.
This time we get to say who it is, right?
Yeah, I already did.
Last time that was an issue, where
Yeah.
this is hiding things and stuff. Me and I think Ed
Yeah.
talked about, we didn't like that. I know, I understand why, because you've been kind of burnt in the past, but
Again, I wasn't part of that.
I
so
understand
I-
that.
Yeah. This is a public.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
There's signs out there saying what's
Yeah, I know
happening.
it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Gordon. All right, next item on our agenda is the director's report for August, which you should all have.
she said, I'm actually doing things.
Yep, yep, which is
Okay.
good.
I want to make a motion that we accept the director's report as submitted.
Approve, or a second, I mean.
Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, congratulations. You get another month.
Yay!
And barring anything else, motion to adjourn.
I want to
So
see,
moved.
Second.
Hold on, Bill. Bill opened his mouth.
Bill
I'm
will.
sorry, but we approved a variance up on Grand for a nail shop.
Oh, the home
Yeah,
occupation.
at like 18th and Grand.
I heard
something like
she backed out of that, or she's not doing that now.
I'm still seeing cars going there,
Really?
yeah. But what I was gonna ask is, we had told her that subject to her building a ramp after so many.
I know, I went by it the other day, and my wife thought that she wasn't doing it there now. I'll have to dig into it a little bit, because
But
they know who that
I
is.
couldn't remember how long we said she had. I know we gave her some time.
I think it might have been even up to a year, because we gave her a lot of time, but it wasn't more
It
than a
was
year.
more than I thought you would want.
Yeah.
But somebody's gonna have to babysit that.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to make sure it happened, and I said that, so. From what I have heard is that she's doing it someplace else, or she's not doing it there, but let me check on it, and unless Bill knows something.
Not a thing.
I still see a lot of cars in and out of there.
Okay.
And I don't know,
Well,
maybe she has a lot of visitors, but
yeah. Can you check on it, Bill?
Yeah.
Can you call and find out?
Yeah.
Just, that'd be the easy thing.
That'd be kind of his job,
Yeah,
so,
no,
you
that's what I'm
know.
thinking.
You want me to do my
That's where-
job?
It just hit me.
okay, now.
All right, well, thank you, Bill. We had a motion to adjourn and a second, I heard. So, all in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.